Hi, I'm Rachel Wilson. I'm the chair of the Business and Economics Department here at Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio. And I have Ryan Maguire here. He's an alumni of ours who I first met in his first year seminar as his professor back in the fall of 2014. It's been a real joy for me to watch Ryan mature and grow both academically and professionally, and we're excited to have him back here on campus. So I thought it'd be fun to ask him a few questions so that you guys could hear about his story too.
Definitely.
So Ryan, what made you first interested in Wittenberg University?
Yeah, so originally I came here, I was recruited for football. I came on a visit and got to check out the campus. I thought it was really beautiful on first sight, very green. There's a lot of nature around and a lot of historic buildings. I really liked the college town kind of vibe. Eventually I came here as a student athlete and just kind of fell in love with it.
You double majored in accounting and finance. How did you decide on that path?
For me, it was kind of about having something that I could take in multiple directions because I wasn't really sure which way I wanted to go, especially in my early years. So I think when we molded over, it was kind of going back and forth, and luckily I was able to do both of them. So I think it's really important when you're young not to get pigeonholed into one section because ultimately your dreams, your goals, they're going to change over time over that 4-year period. So.
Well, one of the cool things about teaching at Wittenberg is getting to see our students go all over the place and knowing that we have alumni everywhere. What made you decide to go to San Francisco, and how did you find your way all the way out there from Ohio?
It's kind of a funny story. I messaged a bunch of Wittenberg grads on LinkedIn and just started reaching out to anybody who's in accounting, finance, consulting. And eventually I met a guy named Jeremy Hunter, and Jeremy had made a name for himself as a culture consultant all over the West Coast. Very great speaker. He does mindfulness coaching. And so when I asked him, if there was any firms that maybe aligned with Wittenberg's values that were in accounting and finance, he recommended Frank Rimerman. And when I went in for the interview, being like the only person from Ohio, everyone else is from, the West Coast, and they're kind of asking me, what brought you to Frank Rimerman, a San Francisco company? And I told them about Jeremy Hunter, and instantly their eyes lit up and they were like, wow, Jeremy Hunter? That goes a long way with us. And a year later, I'm working full-time for Frank Rimerman. So.
Wow, that is such a neat story of how you use the Tiger Network here.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say is, you mentioned that you just fell in love with the campus when you came to visit, and I really think Wittenberg is a special place. Mm-hmm. I mean, we predate the Civil War, and we have a rich heritage in the liberal arts. So how do you think business in the liberal arts context, the fact that you did have to do a breadth of these general education requirements, has helped you in your career already? I know you're young, but and maybe how you think it might help in the future.
A really good example of that, I ended up doing a rotational program. So I got to try out a lot of different things, and it's sort of like a liberal arts degree, but in the professional world. And from there, I ended up going into business valuation, which was something that I really didn't even have my eyes set on even senior year. So I think what it enabled me to do was kind of learn to learn. I had to learn kind of on the fly, teach myself some things, get up to speed on regulations and different rules and theory that you're not necessarily going to learn in school because it's a little bit more specialized. So I think you're able to develop that knack for learning and the different avenues in which you can pick up new skills.
That's great. Well, Ryan's going to go talk to some of our classes and tell them a little more about his story, and we really appreciate him coming. So thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely. Anytime.